Hey guys, Eric here at Forp Gaming. Welcome back to the channel. Sorry it's been a little while since we've gotten any content out. Unfortunately, all of us have been extremely busy over the last couple of months. Graduations and summer vacations and just an uptick in kind of, scheduling and stuff like that. So our apologies for not getting any consistent content out recently, but we are going to try and remedy that. And which is one of the reasons why I'm here today. I got a suggestion from a couple of subscribers that wanted us to go over and do top 5 units for each army in the Kings of War rulebook. And I really like that idea, so we're going to start that out today. Now I know you guys are seeing that it's just me. Jimmy unfortunately can't be here, neither can Tom. So for today, I'm going to go over my top 5 units for the Basilean army. It's neither Jimmy nor Tom play Basileans. I don't play them either. But I feel like this one, there's really no skin in the game for any one of us, and so I feel comfortable with going over this one with my top 5 units. So just keep in mind that these top 5 lists are merely meant for conjecture, they're meant for fun. This does not mean that if you add all of these top 5 units into your list that you're going to win. This also doesn't mean that any of those top 5 units that you see on this list have to be in an army for them to be good. This is merely just my opinion. So let's keep that in mind, especially in the comments. Don't tear me too much up in the comments here. Also keep in mind that my experience with the Basileans is playing against them, not utilizing them. That is a very important thing when you are trying to examine an army. Sometimes you get a different feel for an army by playing against them. So if you ever want to switch things up, especially with your opponent, switch your army. And it gives you a whole different perspective when you actually play against the army that you're trying to build, because you kind of start seeing different tactics, different ways of combating them, and different ways that you could build your list as well. So sometimes I like to play against the list that I want to build, so that way I can see what I need to do in order to defeat it and what my opponent needs to do in order to defeat it, and then that way I can hopefully play the list better. But with that being said, just keep in mind, guys, this is purely opinion. Also understand that this opinion is based off of our meta here in kind of the more Rocky Mountain region, I guess is what you'd call it, and based off of what we see in our gaming group. So a unit that I might have on this list, you guys might look at and go, that's hot garbage, I would never use that. And likewise, I might look at a unit that you guys would have and go, oh, that's hot garbage, I'll never use it, right? So sometimes the meta, the tactics, the play styles of a particular region or gaming club or gaming group might dictate what units you're going to put in. So with that being said, let's get into the list. Going to go in order from, I'm pretty much going to start at number 5 and work my way towards number 1. If you guys have watched our top 5 videos in the past, then you guys will understand this is how we will do that. We'll start with number 5, work our way up to what I consider to be the best unit in the Basilean army. Like I said, I will try and give a little bit of a definition as to why I feel that way, so that way you guys understand where I'm coming from. If I can talk about different play styles with them, I definitely will. Number 5 is the Sisterhood Scouts. What I like about the Sisterhood Scouts, though, is their versatility. Especially in the Basilean army. Yes, you have crossbowmen, not a whole lot of ranged options, I feel, but what I like about the Sisterhood Scouts is that you can put them in a forest, you can put them in a terrain of some type. They're going to stay there for a good while. A troop of them is 120, a regiment of them is 160 points, and I know what you guys are thinking, man, that seems kind of pricey for a unit that's really just meant to be kind of a harassing unit, and I totally understand what you're saying. They hit on force, they have steady aim, and they have vicious ranged. They are a 24-inch range with their bows. They have iron resolve and they have scout. So what this unit effectively does is this unit will help you in the positioning part of the game. Okay, you can deploy them at the very max of your deployment zone, and then you get a free scout move. Now what's cool about scout moves is that you can move your full march order. So because they're speed 5, you can move 10 inches in a scout move, or not. It's completely up to you. What's nice about that is that's getting you, if you have cover nearby, or you have a forest that you want to occupy, or you have something nearby, you can make that scout move and position them better the next turn, okay? Now, again, they're 160 points. I know it seems a little pricey, or again, 120 if you use a troop. But what I like is that you're getting at least 10 to 12 shots. They're also just as good in melee, it seems, as they are in ranged combat. Now, granted, the Vicious only goes with range. The Vicious does not carry on into melee. But you really don't need the Vicious melee, I wouldn't think. It depends on what the unit is being utilized in your list, and that's a big part of this. I see them as maybe an objective grabber. I see them as a unit that's just going to harass for a couple of turns. You want to deploy them well, and you want to sit them in a forest. You want to sit them somewhere and hope that you have enough supporting units to where your opponent does not want to single in on them and waste time shooting them. Because if you put this unit into a forest and they're getting a cover save, then obviously your opponent is, sorry, not cover save, that's a old school other game system that we're not going to talk about. But what your opponent is getting is they're getting -1 to their shooting. So now if they're going to shoot your Sisterhood Scouts, they're going to shoot them at a -1. And hopefully they will want to shoot at other things on the board, right? Divided attention is what we want to call that. If they do plink a shot here, plink a shot there, that's fine. They've got Iron Resolve, right? So that's going to help them stay alive a little bit longer, rather than other units, other archer units that don't have Iron Resolve. So what Iron Resolve is, in case you guys don't know, is that every time that unit passes a nerve test, they get a wound back. So if your opponent is just trying to plink 1, 2, 3 wounds every turn, okay, they put 1 wound on, you roll a nerve test, as long as they pass, boom, you get that wound back. So now your opponent is going, oh, I've got to either devote a lot of shots or devote a unit particular to take them out, or I need to focus on something else. And hopefully they'll pick the latter, they'll leave this unit alone. But I like this unit for its versatility. I like this unit because really in the grand scheme of everything else in the Basilean army, it provides a niche that you don't otherwise see. And I know a lot of people are going to say, well, the crossbowmen for 130 points, you know, they're a regiment, they get 10 attacks. Well, obviously Sisterhood Scouts get more. They both have the same range. You know, piercing is obviously piercing 1 on the crossbowman and pot shot. I get that. I just like the versatility, the maneuverability, the overall tactical advantages that the Sisterhood Scouts give you over the crossbowmen. So going into number 4, my number 4 unit is the Phoenix. Now, what I like about the Phoenix is that it's speed 8. It is melee 3 up. It's range 4 up. It is only defense 3, but bear with me here, okay? I'm going to go over a couple of things. It only has 3 attacks, so it's not like it's going to be a world beater when it comes to attacks. 16, 18 nerve, and it's 145 points. It's got crushing 1. It's got fly, nimble, regen 4 up. Fire Sparks, which is an 18-inch 18-inch range, 10 attacks, steady aim. It's got heal 5, and then if you really want to, you can add it, make it an Ancient Phoenix, which you can do to 1 of your Phoenixes. Lowers the defense to 2, while also losing the nimble special rule, but changes regeneration to 3, and gains both the Radiance of Life and Cloak of Death special rules. This is 30 points, so that will bump it up to 175 points, which does make it kind of pricey. I don't know necessarily if I would always use that upgrade unless it is in a specific build where I need that synergy from Cloak of Death, Radiance of Life, and I am going to utilize that regen 3 up. What I like about the Phoenix, though, is you have a lot of range with this, with this Titan. So you've got speed 8, which gives you 16-inch move if you need to. It does fly, so you can fly over other units. You don't have to worry about getting blocked behind your own units and stuff like that, especially for charges and ranges for shooting and stuff like that. It's also nimble, so you can outposition most other things. Yes, it's only defense 3. You got to have a balance, right? So it's only defense 3, but it hits on 3s. Now, it's got only 3 attacks, so are you really going to be getting into combat with it? Me, I would not be getting into combat with it unless it's something I know I can kill, or it's something, you know, it's end of game, and for whatever reason I have to hit whatever I'm hitting and take it out. Say it's a unit with, you know, it's a unit of cavalry, normally 15, 17 nerve, and they've got 13 wounds on it, and all I need to do is, you know, try and hit it and stop it and try and disorder it maybe, or try and put another couple wounds on it. Again, it's only got 3 attacks, so, you know, use that part sparingly. But where the Phoenix really shines, pardon the pun, is with its synergy. If you are keeping this unit back behind other units that it's taller than, you are now providing those units with a possible flanker. Not that anybody's going to be too scared about a 3 attacks, but there again, you double up on the flanks, you're getting 6. Still crushing 1, so I mean you can still do, and it hits on 3, so you're still going to do a little bit of damage. People still have to watch out for that. But what's really nice about it though is the 18-inch fire spark attack. 10 attacks with steady aim. You can lay down almost like suppressing fire. This is height 6, so you're most likely going to be a lot taller than most of the infantry units in front of you. You can shoot over them, no problems with line of sight, nothing like that. And you are going to be able to put down a consistent amount of firepower. Now I know 10 attacks does not seem like a lot consistently, but it's got heal 5 as well. And that is the true, where I really think the Phoenix shines is with the heal 5. You're able to heal and support the unit in front of it, the units around it, whichever. And hopefully, again, people are not going to want to key off on your Phoenix. And if they do, it's 145 points. It's not like you're losing a 300-point unit. I like the Phoenix though for the flexibility it gives you in flight. You can still get into combat if you need to and if you have to. It's not like it's a regular mage where you do not want to run them into combat unless you need just 1 wound and you're going to go for it and double 6 on both, right? Or need 6 and 6, right? So the Phoenix again gives versatility and it gives that extra magic, gives that little extra support with heal. And I think Basileans, with their natural Iron Resolve rule that's on most of the units, you throw heal there, and then if you really want to, again, upgrade to the Ancient Phoenix. Now you're throwing Radiance of Life on there. You're getting Radiance of Life, you're getting Iron Resolve, and then you're going to heal 5. Those really stack well, and that's really awesome. And if you have a good solid battle line of, say, Ogre Palace Guard, or even just the basic hordes of these guys, and then you're throwing a Phoenix behind them. The Phoenix does give some maneuverability, right? So that way people aren't trying to jump your line with an individual, maybe with Wings of the Honey Maze or something like that. So you do have some maneuverability with the Phoenix and its fly rule, but you also have the ability to support those units almost as a caster would. And so you can heal 5, Radiance of Life, plus their Iron Resolve. That's going to be really difficult to take care of. Moving on to number 3. This might not be a shock to some of the people that are out there, especially the people that have played Basileans, but my number 3 unit on here is the Elohai. I'm sure I butchered that, but it's a hero unit, speed 10. It has 6 attacks. It is 15, fearless 15 nerve, 200 points. It is melee 3 up, defense 5. It has crushing 2, dread, fly, inspiring, Iron Resolve, nimble, and it has Divine Fervor. While this unit is engaged with an enemy unit, friendly core units with the human keyword that are engaged with the same enemy unit have elite melee. So, I like that. That's pretty nice. For 200 points, you are getting a really, really, really solid hero that, again, keep in mind, has 6 attacks. Okay, that doesn't seem great, except it's not an individual. So if you are able to flank with this Elohai hero, now you're getting 12 attacks. Crushing 2, with hitting on 3s. You have speed 10, so you've got the max speed in the game practically, with a 20-inch range. And you are nimble, so you still do have that maneuverability component that not all flyers get anymore. It's inspiring, so if you're worried about running that with a group of Elohai and you're like, oh man, I need some inspiring there you go. What it is for other people, it's kind of like that specialized hero, I don't want to say a dragon, but that hero on Pegasus or that hero on whatever. But this one really hits hard. Crushing 2, not Crush 1 Thunderous 1, Crushing 2, and it has dread. That's an auto wound when you're in 6 inches of any enemy units, not just one, but let's say you have a couple of units stacked by, or you have a unit and a hero, whatever. That's an automatic wound on that hero as well. That's an automatic wound on any opponent within 6 inches of that character. So that is an awesome special rule, and it's only 200 points. And then again, you charge the Elohai in. Let's say you charge them in with basic infantry, or with anybody else in this army that have the human keyword, and you guys are in the same combat. You are now giving elite melee to that other unit. That is huge. That is, to me, that is massive. I'm an elf player. Elite is one of the best rules in the game. So I know it's only on 1s, but it always seems like it helps me, especially when you're hitting on 3s or 4s normally, and you need to re-roll 1s. That really, really helps. So the Alohi, in my mind, is an auto-include. I don't know how you cannot include that in your army, especially if you're running Alohi, you're running basic humans, infantry, stuff like that. The Alohi is a must. All right, so number 2 is going to be the Ogre Palace Guard. Now I know some of you guys are going, well, those are ogres. Well, they're in the Basilean list. They're in the Basilean, Army list, and I think they are an awesome, 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 solid unit. This is a unit that you're going to have at least 1 or 2 of them in your army. At least the way that I would build it, you're going to have 1 or 2 of them in your army, and I like the versatility, but the survivability that these ogres give you. They hit on 3s, they're speed 6, so they're a little bit faster than regular infantry. They're defense 5, and they're set up just like regular ogres in the fact that they are large infantry. So they're height 3, they can see over height 2 units, which is nice. The regiment has 9 attacks, horde has 18 attacks, 15, 17 nerve, and they are expensive. They are 235 points for a horde, as opposed to 140 points for a regiment. But where they really shine is the brutal, crushing strength 2, and iron resolve. So, again, you got to look at how you're building your army. The way that I look at the Basileans, I look at them as a very staunch, higher defense than others, hitting army that has iron resolve, that has heal, that has these supporting characters that are really going to make this army grind. That's how I see the Basileans. I see them grinding in the middle, having a really strong battle line, supported by Phoenixes, supported by the Alohi, and then you have your Alohi coming in on the flanks and really hitting those flanks hard. That's kind of how I view the Basilean army. I know there's many ways to build it, but that's how I view it. And I think the Ogre Palace Guard are a huge component to that battle line, because while people are grinding with your infantry, you can come in and really hit hard with your Ogre Palace Guard. Don't forget too, the Ogre Palace Guard have the Iron Resolve rule as well. One of the downsides to the usual ogres is their survivability when it comes to heal, when it comes to being able to bring back wounds, because their nerve value is lower than others. But with Iron Resolve, that definitely helps, because now if you got the Phoenix nearby, or if you have another caster supporting them with heal, it really takes a lot to put wounds on a defense 5 unit, as all of you guys know. And then when you're able to just Iron Resolve one of those back, or Radiance of Life one back, you already get, now if you have both, if you have Radiance of Life and Iron Resolve, you're now getting 2 wounds back, and that's before you heal. And on a unit with Defense 5, 2 wounds, auto heal, pretty much, that's awesome. That's a really good thing. I know these units are expensive. Are you probably going to make more than 2 of them in your army? Probably not, just because they are very expensive. That would make for a pretty small army that might get outpositioned. But I really like the Ogre Palace Guard. They are just a really nasty assault-heavy unit that I like right in the middle of the battle line. So, number 1 on my list is going to be, and I'm sure this is no shock to people, the Alohi. Yes, I know, everybody's favorite. Everybody hates them, but the Alohi. Now, they're not as strong as they used to be in 2nd edition, and even earlier in 3rd edition, they were a little bit stronger, I feel. They are large infantry, just like the Ogre Palace Guard. They're speed 10. They hit on 3s, so melee 3 up. They are defense 5 up. They are crushing 1, fly, inspiring, and Iron Resolve. So the biggest thing with this unit, guys, is just the synergy with it. Crushing strength 1, fly, inspiring, Iron Resolve. You're getting Iron Resolve back. You're healing back as well. This unit, though, the only downside is they are expensive. Basic unit is 160 points for the regiment. Horde is 270. Oh my god, that's expensive. But it's pretty much a flying hammer, right? It is your flankers that are going to hit, they're going to stick. You don't need to run inspiring with them, so you don't need to run a hero with them, because they're already inspiring themselves. They're fearless, which is nice. You're not going to get them wavered. Fearless 14 for a regiment, fearless 17 for a horde. They have 18 attacks. Yes, crushing 1, okay, it's a little bit lower. But, you can always lower the defense to 4 up and gain crushing 2 if you want for free. I don't know if I would do that necessarily, though. I don't know if I like the survivability of 4-up defense, but I'm sure for some builds that would be a great idea. Again, they also do the Divine Fervor as well, just like the Alohi, so they do have that aura, or they do in the same combat with other humans, they do give them that elite melee boost as well. The Alohi, in my opinion, are some of the best hammer units in the game, especially with the speed, with the ability to make them crushing 2, or just keep them crushing 1 and just harass people on the flanks. I think they are the best unit in the Basilean army. In my opinion, if you are running a Basilean army and you don't have at least 1 or 2 of those units in there, what are you doing? I'm sure that, again, I know there's many ways to build the Basileans, and that's what I like about doing these top 5 lists. I share with you guys what I want, and I want you guys to share what you guys would include in your Basilean armies down in the comments below. Let me know if you guys agree with me. If you disagree with me, totally understand. Again, this is just purely opinion. There's no scientific backing for this. This is just my opinion based off the games that I've played. I've been playing Kings of War since 2015, so God, 8 years now. So I've loved every minute of it. It's a great game system, but unfortunately, I haven't seen everything, and I haven't done everything, and haven't played every army. So by all means, guys, please, include what you guys like, if you guys agree with me or disagree. Other than that, I'm going to get out of here. Hopefully, like I said, we'll be able to get some battle reports out here soon, and keep going with the channel, and I'll try and get some other unit, unit showcases where I'm looking at different units as well. So, all right, guys, see you later.